All right, let's talk about Matthew Stafford and the Los Angeles Rams being able to pull off the victory against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And this was at one point looking like it was going to be an all-time great Matthew Stafford performance. Things cooled off a bit in the second half, cooled off a lot actually in the second half. We'll talk about what went wrong there, but ultimately how they were able to still make enough plays to get the victory. So yeah, let's get into it. And again, the hot start early on was really the key situation. So this play, 4th down and 3, they're going for it, which not every team would do, right? I think there's a debate as to if this is the right call or not. I don't know if Sean McVay early in his career runs this, but maybe he just had a play that he liked because, 4th and 3, you see how it's zone coverage. You have the one receiver line up towards the offense's right, who's going to be running a deeper route. Another, the back is going to go out to the flat right here. However, once Stafford takes a snap, the defender, who looked like he was supposed to cover the flat, started off like as though he was trying to stop the run or rush the passer, so I don't know exactly what happened there. I actually wouldn't be shocked if Sean McVay saw that this is the thing the Jaguars kind of players on the outside do sometimes is, go out to try and rush the passer or stop the run on a situation like this, and that's why he felt comfortable going for it in this spot. He had a call that he liked. I wouldn't be shocked at all. In fact, that's what I think probably happened. But because of this, Stafford's able to make the throw, and they're able to pick up a first down on that play. So, again, huge play. They end up scoring a touchdown. Kyron Williams was the one who made the grab. So, if they don't convert that, okay, hey, those 7 points matter. So, especially early on. So, really good stuff. And in fact, let's talk about what we should talk about. Let's talk about the touchdown that we just, brought up. And this is, Puka Nacua obviously not available for this game. So who do you go for? Well, hey, who needs Puka Nacua when you have Kanata Munfield, who is going to be running this route? You see, it's a one-on-one matchup, and they're going to trust him, which is interesting, right? I mean, you would think like, okay, no, Davante Adams has to be your guy in this situation. Adams isn't even on the field right here. So really interesting that they're going with Munfield. However, once Stafford runs this play action, again, maybe it's partially trying to help sell the play action. The player over the middle did come in and is not covering Munfield, who is running a good route. And again, this is the situation where for the Jaguars, they maybe were expecting the over the middle to be covered. So when Munfield cuts there, he has some separation, but also give Munfield credit. Really good job. Watch as it's an accurate throw and a nice catch, and they're able to pick up the touchdown right there. So yeah, good stuff. I think now it's a good time to also mention the Jaguars did not play Travis Hunter in the first half. I don't know why, because he's been good at corner, even if he's been up and down at receiver. And so part of the Rams' depth winning was because of that, because the Jaguars just weren't playing one of their best players. So that was definitely a factor, but hey, take advantage, right? But also there were things like this, which was just Stafford making some great plays. And even if he did miss a couple throws in this game, but he'll always make up for it with some of the great plays he can make. Like what's going to happen here is it's going to be a play action rollout towards the top of the screen. You have your tight end who's actually on that side of the field, who's going to cut back towards the sideline. That's where they want to go for a play like this. It's Colby Parkinson running the route. Watch as when Stafford takes the snap, you're going to see that right here. Stafford has to throw off balance, against his body. I do think one thing that Stafford does a very good job of is we know he can throw off balance and throw with weird arm angles and whatever, but he took a second to make sure he had his shoulders square, he had the footwork he wanted. That little thing is important. A lot of, especially young quarterbacks, will just kind of throw off balance because, hey, I'm already off balance. I think taking that little bit of time, if you have the time, is a good idea. You see, though, it's still going to take a really nice throw and a nice catch for it to be a completion. However, it is both of those things. Big completion. Rams get the ball inside the 30. So, again, it's not only a difficult throw, but it's also a throw that helps move the ball down the field. So, that's certainly nice. Heading over here now. So, I brought up that, okay, usually you would think that you go to Davante Adams in a goal line scenario if you're going to pass it, because he is your best receiver with Nacua out. Well, okay, they didn't the first time, but they're doing it this time. You see, it's just a pure one-on-one matchup, right? I mean, you have Adams on the outside. Everyone else has to essentially be aware of a potential run. You have to, put everyone in the middle. So because of this, you have Adams. So Stafford's going to take the snap. He's going to throw it just up, let Adams make the tough catch, and that's exactly what happens. So give Davante Adams a lot of credit for making that play. And this reminds you of, back when he was with the Packers and him and Aaron Rodgers constantly hitting on these two types of plays, right? This is why you go out and add Davante Adams, because he can do plays like that. Now, let's go over to the negatives. So, listen, first half, things were awesome. 21 points, and you're like, okay, this is going to be a dominant Rams victory. Things cooled off. Things did cool off in the second half. Part of that was, as I mentioned, Travis Hunter getting back on the field. But also, I think there was just a few misses by the Rams. So, like, this play, it's a zone coverage concept on a 2nd down and 7. You have a receiver who's going to go over the middle. Okay, this is something that can definitely work, right? Or, well, correction, it's not really, it's over the middle in terms of the depth. It's obviously going towards the sideline, so you get how this works. But again, there could be a window there. Matthew Stafford is going to take the snap, and you see that there is pressure, and I think that definitely affects this play. Stafford has to throw this a little bit earlier than he would like. So I don't think it's necessarily that it's fully affecting the throw as much as it is he has to throw this one a little bit earlier than he wants to, and has to kind of anticipate where exactly he thinks his receiver is going to be. And because of that, just a little bit off, and ends up, being an incomplete pass. Had they converted that, well, now it's a 1st down. You can kill more clock, maybe get some points on the board. So that was not ideal, and ultimately allowed for, allowed for the Rams or allowed for the Jaguars to be able to, get some stops. And if their offense was scoring, would have allowed for them to get back into the game. So definitely have to block better. That was a part of it. Blocking leads to a missed throw. But also something like this where, Jaguars, again, you have Travis Hunter on the field now, which doesn't just help who he covers. It gives everyone potentially easier matchups. Although I think this is the matchup that would have been going on either way, where it's Andrew Wingard, the safety, who is going to be going up one-on-one against Tyler Higbee on this play. Again, I see why the Rams like this matchup. It's a good route against this coverage. It's totally something that could work. Stafford's going to take the snap, and it's well covered, and it's just, hey, one-on-one football. And earlier in the game, the Rams were winning the one-on-one football. Later in the game, the Jaguars were able to kind of turn the tide on some of these plays. Sometimes that's just how it goes, right? And that's kind of how it went here. But all of that brings us to here. So, okay, again, Jaguars continue to kind of shoot themselves in the foot, but the Rams not fully able to take advantage on some of these plays. So you now have this. It's a 4th down and 1. The Jaguars jump off sides to create the 4th down and 1. It was 4th and 6. The Rams decided to go for it. And again, it's a bit of a bold call. I'm actually a little surprised Sean McVay decided to do it, because a field goal technically still makes it a 3-score game, but it's just tougher, right? You now have to make 3-point conversions on top of the 3 touchdowns. So the odds are you're not going to hit all 3 of those 2-point conversions, and it would make it a 4-score game. However, again, you have to wonder if the Rams just had a play call that they liked in this situation, because watch what they're going to do. Stafford's going to take the snap. He runs a play action, and this is they get a player wide open right here. I believe this is one of those you fake it so you're going with one of those over the middle plays that is usually really deadly against play action, but because of that, something else gets wide open here. This is just incredibly open. Stafford makes a nice throw down the field, and that puts it up 28-0. And while it was already looking pretty good for the Rams, this was the dagger that allowed them to really win the game. Had a nice drive to kill some clock on their following possession as well. So, really good stuff from Stafford ultimately. Things got a little bit cooled off. You have to wonder if Puka Nacua is out there. Does that just fix the issues right there and you don't have any other issues? Very possibly. But to be able to still put up a good amount of points against a defense that had played well this season without your number 1 wide receiver, really impressive stuff here from the Los Angeles Rams. That's what I think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.